The gambling industry in the United States has reached a period of transformation. This week, the Tropicana is coming down, out with the old, making way for the new. Sports has exploded in the world of gambling, and commercial casinos are on fire. With me now, the CEO of the American Gaming Association, Bill Miller. To what do you attribute the continued growth in gambling?
Well, I think it's really been an exciting time. If you think about COVID's not that long ago, and there were so many people who said, look, the gambling industry is going to have this sugar high period, and then it's going to dissipate. And what we've seen, though, is 41 months in a row of continued growth. And that is really something to celebrate. Secondly, what the industry recognized was we have an opportunity to reset. And that reset was demographically. Everybody had always said, well, you know, the thing about the casino industry is it's a blue hair business. And the older you get, the more likely we're going to get casino patrons. What we've seen in the last few years is the demo for our industry has skewed down from 50 to 42. And the reason is because we were able in the early days post-COVID to introduce an entirely new segment of the population, a whole new demographic, millennials, Gen Zers, to our industry, the gaming floor, and all of the other elements of the industry in order to create a new customer base.
These are also young people who are growing up on online gambling or gaming, that then when they reach an age where it's legal or where it's legal, that it's not much of a leap to figure out how to play games that they know and love online for money.
Yeah.
But for this industry to keep growing, do you have to have more states embracing iGaming and expanding opportunities in sports betting?
Look, I think that sports betting has shown to be an incredible success. Right? We've literally gone from one state in America where you could legally bet on sports to 39 in the District of Columbia, all in 6 years. And so that legalization created another whole cohort of customers that understand the gaming industry, many of which understand the gaming industry through their phone, because that's how they interact with in all consumer facets. And so the gambling industry, whether it's the casinos, sports betting, or iGaming, these are all elements that I think that our customers want us to interact with them in a way that they want to interact. And so that's our job.
Because the explosion in the digital business, it has also brought with it an unprecedented level of scrutiny about where there might be societal harm, whether there's underage gambling, whether integrity in sports can be guaranteed. Now you have lawmakers coming forward and introducing legislation that they think will help protect consumers. That also creates a headwind, doesn't it, for the industry? How do you deal with that?
Well, that's a lot to unpack. So I'll start with the congressional threat, if you will. Look, I think that there are always people who want to see the industry in the manner in which they view it, right? And so, look, 435 members of the House, 100 members of Congress. Right now, the industry has never been seen more favorably by the general public as a mainstream entertainment outlet. And so, are we going to go back to a place of prohibition, which some in Congress want? I don't think so. The American public doesn't think so, and the Congress doesn't think so. And so, look, well-intentioned, fine, but our industry has been built on responsibility and sustainability based around creating the right kind of relationships with our customers. And so I feel really good about where we are as an industry, and I look at that from the perspective of who really cares. I mean, in terms of policymakers, a couple policymakers have said, we need to rein this in. This is out of control. When we say we needed to create more advertising in order to move people from the illegal market into the legal marketplace, advertising helped us do that. It helped us break down some of the illegal market, and we're happy about that. But we've also seen in the last 2 years via Nielsen that advertising spend for sports betting specifically, which is what gains all of the attention, has been down both years.
When you think about what's to come, do you anticipate needing more fight on enforcement, warding off the unregulated offshore casinos or sweepstakes, which operators are really avidly defending their right to operate sweepstakes style gaming?
Very challenging questions. The one is pretty easy. Offshore online websites that prey upon customers in America, they should be outlawed because they are against the law. And our members and our companies go through a pretty rigorous regulatory scrutiny in order to get licensed and then to be able to operate. And so the offshore guys, really, that needs to be a priority for law enforcement. Now, the sweepstakes is a little bit different because these are individuals who, and this is an industry that is constantly reinventing itself. And that these individuals that have created these businesses are operating under, in their opinion, a regulatory frame that works. And some jurisdictions have accepted that. We think that at the end of the day, if you're going to operate a real money sports betting business or a real money iGaming business, it has to be underneath the gambling umbrella in terms of regulation. And so, we're all working our way through this. At the AGA, we have tried to do everything we can to make sure that regulators understand they are the ultimate arbiters of what regulatory frame these people operate under.
One more. The court has now just sided again with Kalshi when it comes to predictions markets and the election. We have a big election coming up. There are those who argue, and the Commodities Commission is one of them, that it interferes with the integrity of elections in the same way people might argue about the integrity of sports. Where do you come down on the predictions markets and whether that's gambling and should be regulated like gambling?
Well, I think, first of all, gambling should be regulated at the state level. I think that has been the way in which this industry was created, and that's the way it should stay. The federal government has a role, FinCEN, money laundering, IRS and Treasury. Those are all really important people that we pay very close attention to. But as it relates to, should there be gambling options in and around politics, my view is that it's not the federal government's role to empower this. And although I don't necessarily believe the argument that people make that, if you would bet on the futures of politics, that then you can control the outcome, I think that that's kind of a reach. But, I'm an old political guy, and I don't think that it's very easy to actually control outcomes of elections and then, by extension, create integrity issues around the election. Now, I will go back to the integrity of sports, because that is one of those things that we've talked about in the past and is always core. That our industry, we work with our partners in all of the leagues, with teams, arenas, broadcasters, in order to make sure that the most important thing, if we're going to create a legal, robust sports betting market, is that the integrity of the game is sacrosanct.
The interesting thing when you think about this is when you bet on football, if you have the overwhelming number of bets coming in on the Patriots, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Patriots are more likely to win.
Right.
But a lot of times in the predictions market, if you have an overwhelming number of markets coming in for a particular candidate, the interpretation is that candidate is more likely to win.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's like polling, though. You think about polling and you kind of say, well, is polling accurate? And now, people are voting in the predictions market with their money rather than maybe misleading a pollster, but there's still, this is a very inexact science, and again, better left to the states than the federal government. And again, this is Bill Miller personal view. I don't think that we should be in the political betting business.
Phil, on that note, thank you.
Thank you.